I'm back with another video. So in this video, I kind of want to go over what I went over yesterday in my last video. My last video was basically how can a client get a car, and should they get a personal loan, should they get an auto loan, or what should they do basically. But we're gonna go through all of that, and if you're looking to find out how to get a car without getting an auto loan, that's basically what the name of the last one was. I'm going to go over that too. Now you guys remember to subscribe, like this video, and make sure you drop a comment to follow along with me, you guys, because I'm going to ask you some questions. Go ahead and drop those down below, and don't forget, you guys, text SCORE to 21,000 to be a part of my texting club. But let's go and get right on into the video. So let's go through what I was basically telling you guys with the 1, 2, and 3 and what you guys should do. So they say, is it better to do an auto loan or a personal loan? Now listen, with $6,000, to me, that's not a lot of money for a car. So I always tell people you have different options. You could go to get an auto loan, but you really want to see what your interest rate would be when you go get that auto loan, and then compare it to a personal loan, because you may want to get a personal loan and just pay off the personal loan, because they can give you a personal loan for $6,000 and you could just pay it back depending on, you know, your terms of the loan. But get one for 2 years or get one for a year and just pay it back. And remember, the biggest thing is the interest rate, and then how much is that monthly payment, because you want to make sure you can be able to budget it. Now, another thing I said yesterday was, you guys think about getting credit cards, like $6,000. You can get this $6,000, put it on a credit card, and you can go ahead and purchase a car that way. You guys can purchase things with your credit card, even the vehicles, depending on the price though, right? But this is the key thing. I told you guys it's best to have like a 0 interest credit card. Like when you have a 0 interest credit card, that is different than getting a regular credit card and throwing it on there. Because if you have a 0% interest credit card, like an introductory rate, and you're thinking about possibly having this for about 15 to 18 months for something like that, but you got to make sure your credit is together. But with the scores that her husband has, I don't think that he would have a problem at all doing that. Now remember, it's best to make sure if you do something like this where you purchase a car with your 0% credit card, remember you only have 0% for so long. So make sure when you apply for these different credit cards like Citi, Discover, maybe you have some like with my bank, Wells Fargo, Chase, whoever you're going with, just make sure that you're paying that off within that time, because whatever you have left, and I'm pretty sure it's whatever you have left, then that's when they're going to go ahead and start charging you interest on that. So keep that in mind, you guys. And I told you guys, like, I purchased properties and stuff with credit cards, so you can do whatever you want to do when it comes down to using your credit cards. There's so many different options out there, but the thing is, make sure you check that interest rate. And the only reason why I said that is because they send less than $6,000. So there we go. Now, when applying, should you indicate the amount of the mortgage, even though it's in my maiden name? So that mortgage, you don't really want to let everybody know, you know, your debts in general, right? So you really don't want to let everybody know how much your debts are, right? On top of that, you don't want to start getting debts that you don't have to. Like, that is not his name. So technically, I would not indicate it. I would not, like, you know, let them know about that, because it's in your name. Remember, when you have debts, like when you're married especially, if a debt is in one person's name, when they go and ask you, okay, what's your debt? You know, the debt that's in your actual name. A lot of people don't know, like when you go buy properties, it'd be easy for you to get 10 mortgages and they get 10 mortgages. But if you go and, you know, when I say 10 mortgages, the wife get 10 homes or 10 mortgages on homes, and then the husband go ahead and do it. But if you go in together, now you only have 10 when you're doing it together. You got to start separating things, you guys. If a debt is in your name, that's your name. That ain't got nothing to do with the other person, okay? Make sure you guys remember that. And should I be a co-applicant? With credit scores like a 722 on Experian and Equifax, and then a 692 on TransUnion, I don't think that you will need to be a co-applicant. And remember, you guys, you do not want to tie too many people to any debt. If you don't have to. That's the last thing that you would want, is to have to be a co-signer, or somebody would have to co-sign for you. Because now, not only do they got you to go after, not only do they have you to go after, they can go after the co-signer. If you co-sign it, then they can go after you and the original person. Just make it one of y'all. Just like, you don't need to come after both of us, just make it one person.